Hi, Jean again, your FM Wine Guide. And did you know that March is Washington Wine Month? Now, I know March is almost over, but it's not too late to celebrate with a fantastic bottle of Washington wine. I'm going to tell you a little bit about why Washington is so cool while I open a bottle of Two Mountain Merlot, one of my absolute favorite regular wines overall, and also one of my favorite Washington wines. So I'm going to tell you a couple of nerdy facts about Washington so that you know a little more about why the wine from there tastes so good. They're not things that you really have to know, but I know them, and I'm going to tell you why. That's what makes wine taste great. So especially red wines. I think there are a couple of white wines that Washington does really well, and they're worth checking out, especially Riesling. But for the reds, Washington, surprisingly, people think of it as cold and rainy because it's north and Seattle's rainy, but you get over the Cascade Mountains, it's actually really high sunshine, fairly warm, continental climate, and desert-like because there's this rain shadow effect and you don't get hardly any rain past the Cascade Mountains. So really dry. And then they have all this wonderfully minerally deficient mix of soil types left over from these ancient Missoula floods. And that creates this force for the grapevines to really burrow down deep, searching for water and nutrition. And when those roots work so hard, it actually is going to create a lot of complexity in the grape. The other cool thing about Washington is diurnal temperature shift. There's my other nerd word of the day, diurnal temperature shift. So Washington has a greater diurnal temperature shift, and that means the difference between the daytime temperature, like during the high noon sun, and the nighttime temperature in the middle of the night is quite variant. And even more so than most of the growing regions of California. So they've got that up on California a little bit. And what that's going to do is the grapes are going to have this party time, ripening time during the day where they really ripen up and get a lot of juicy, fruity flavors. And then they're going to slow down and take a nap at night because it's so cold. And because that is happening in such drastic ways every single day, that creates a lot of layers and layers and layers of complexity in the skins. So that's really great for intense, beautiful red wines. Now I have a Merlot, and a lot of people look at me and say, oh, well, you know, I don't really drink Merlot. I don't really like Merlot. It's kind of a scary word until they try this one. And then they say, oh, but dang, except that one's really good. And it is. It's just consistently for the last 3 or 4 years, I've tried it and really, really liked it a lot. You just get a nice pop of sort of this blueberry, cranberry, pomegranate mix of fruit. There's a really pretty acidity to the back end, so it's a great food wine. There's also a nice chocolatey note there. What else do I love about this? So I've had the pleasure of meeting the winemaker, Matt Ron, a couple of times, and much like the wine's personality and Matt's personality, I'd say they're very laid back, not pretentious, easy to like, and that's what I want in a good wine. I don't want to overthink it. Don't want to have to talk about caliche and less soils and diurnal temperature shift to understand why I like a wine. But now that you do, I dare you to go and try a wonderful Washington Merlot, Two Mountain. Have fun with it.